2023 is the year of the rabbit according to the Chinese lunar calendar. Let's hop to it and find out all about these cute, fluffy creatures. Here are 5 furry facts to get you started. With big, soft ears and round eyes, rabbits are some of the cutest animals around. They even hop and twist in the air when happy in adorable action called a binky. Beyond all the cuteness, though, rabbits are fascinating animals to study. Rabbits boast some remarkable abilities. Rabbits can run at speeds of 30 kilometers per hour and jump more than half a meter vertically. Their ears allow them to detect sounds from up to 2.8 kilometers away. They also have an amazing vision range of almost 360 degrees. With all of these skills combined, they can easily evade their predators. One of the weird things about rabbits is that they eat their own droppings. They don't eat their regular fecal matter but rather a special kind called scotropes, which are packed with protein and vitamin B. Their bodies create scotropes to help them maximize the nutrients they get from the food they digest. Some might think that rabbits live off carrots, but that's not true. Their diet is mostly made up of hay, supplemented by a small quantity of fresh vegetables. Carrots, which are high in sugar and can contribute to tooth decay, are more like a sweet treat than a regular meal. Rabbits are crepuscular, which means they are most active during dusk and dawn. That's when you'll likely spot them feeding or roaming in fields or lightly wooded areas. In the wild, rabbits live in underground tunnels called burrows. Often, groups of rabbits in one area connect their burrows together. These little rabbit communities are called warrens. Since rabbits are very social by nature, they dislike being lonely. As pets, they are much happier when raised in pairs or larger groups. In Chinese culture, the rabbit is known as the luckiest of all the zodiac animals. It is a symbol of elegance, beauty, and mercy. Rabbits are also seen as being very intelligent. According to the Chinese zodiac, those born in the year of the rabbit are calm, peaceful, and don't like to fight. They are artistic and smart, but don't like to be criticized. They also don't like change. Are rabbits and hares the same animal? No. Hares tend to be larger, have longer ears, and longer hind legs. Rabbits tend to live in groups in underground burrows, while hares live alone or in pairs above ground. Not every culture associates rabbits with good luck. Some Native American tribes consider rabbits tricksters. This trickster rabbit was called Jistu. It was sly, smart, and deceitful. In children's stories, a rabbit trickster is also funny, careless, and has a big ego. African folklore also had a trickster rabbit, whose stories were brought to America by enslaved peoples. Rabbit show jumping began in Sweden in the 1970s. Members of a small rabbit club held hopping contests for their bunnies using horse show jumping rules. By 1987, the sport had become so popular that a national contest was held. Sweden then worked with other countries in Europe, as well as Canada, the United States, Australia, and New Zealand to start rabbit jumping competitions across the globe. The Easter Bunny has its origins in the pagan festival of Easter. The holiday celebrated Ostara, the goddess of fertility and the arrival of spring. According to mythology, Ostara loved children, and she changed her pet bird into a rabbit to entertain them. The rabbit produced colored eggs that the goddess gave to the children. Rabbits are small, fluffy mammals that rate 10/10 on the cuteness scale. Here are some irresistible facts about the third most popular pet in the United States, behind cats and dogs, of course. There are many species of rabbits around the world that share many characteristics such as long ears, powerful hind legs, soft fur, and short, puffy tails. Also, their teeth never stop growing. Rabbits' chompers grow up to 5 inches a year, but are gradually worn down as they chew on plants. Size-wise, rabbits vary widely. The smallest is the pygmy rabbit at 7.9 inches long and 0.9 pounds. The Guinness World Record holder for the longest rabbit is Darius, a 4.4-foot continental giant from England who weighed in at about 50 pounds. Because rabbits are the main prey animal for a whole lot of predators, such as wolves, foxes, bobcats, weasels, hawks, eagles, and owls, they need sharp senses to survive. Eyes on the sides of their heads allow them to see almost all the way around them to keep close watch for predators. Ears up to 4 inches long have a serious purpose. They rotate 270 degrees like satellite dishes to listen for threats up to 2 miles away. Rabbits are also amazing athletes, able to jump up to 3 feet vertically and 10 feet across the ground. Cartoon character Elmer Fudd has good reason to call them wascally rabbits, because escape artist Cottontails can sprint up to 18 miles per hour and run in zigzag patterns, making them hard to target. When life is good, the binky, rabbit happy dance, is performed. Bunnies leap, twist, and kick in mid-air. They also purr like cats when they're relaxed. Rabbits and hares are not the same species. Here's the difference. Hares are larger, have longer ears and hind legs, live alone or in pairs in above-ground nests, and are born fur-covered with open eyes. What did the rabbit say to the carrot? It's been nice knowing you. Judging from this joke, you might think that rabbits consume a lot of carrots. Actually, that's not true. Wild rabbits don't eat root vegetables. They prefer greens like weeds, grasses, and clovers. They also eat their own poop. By eating pre-digested meals, rabbits can absorb nutrients their bodies miss the first time around. Rabbits live on all continents except Antarctica in underground burrows found in habitats ranging from deserts to tropical forests to wetlands. Bunny soil engineers dig a series of tunnels and rooms underground that are called warrens. Large groups live in these complex systems with many connected rooms and entrances that allow them to escape in a pinch. Speaking of homes, did you hear about the bunny who built herself a new house? She was fed up with the whole thing. Rabbits are prolific baby makers. Mother rabbits begin breeding at a young age and give birth to up to 7 kittens, baby bunnies, 4 or 5 times a year. Baby rabbits are naked, blind, and helpless at birth. They grow quickly and are weaned in about a month. How can you tell when rabbits are getting old? Look for the gray hairs. Mom puns aside, not all rabbits live to grow old. Wild rabbits have a shorter lifespan, 1 to 9 years, than pet rabbits, 8 to 12 years, because they are not exposed to disease, food scarcity, or predators. Humans threaten rabbit survival when we hunt them for sport, food, and fur. Although we value them as pets, they are also used as laboratory animals for medical and scientific purposes. Unfortunately, almost half of the world's rabbit species are in danger of extinction. Will there be a happy ending for rabbits? Let us pray. According to Chinese legend, 12 animals gathered on a riverbank to race to the Jade Emperor at his heavenly palace. A pig, a dog, a rooster, a monkey, a goat, a horse, a snake, a dragon, a rabbit, a tiger, an ox, and a rat all wanted to be first. The powerful ox, confident in his strength, plunged into the water and began to swim across. The others followed, except for the rat. He had already climbed up on the ox's back for a free ride. As soon as the ox arrived at the opposite bank, the rat leapt off and scampered to the emperor, first in line. The ox was second, followed by the other animals one by one, with the slow pig last. But where was Cat? He had missed the race entirely. He was still napping by the warm stove because the rat had forgotten to wake him as promised. Or had he? And that's why the cat and rat are enemies and why the cat is not one of the animals of the Chinese zodiac. If someone asks you what your astrological sign is, you may say Sagittarius, if you were born in September, or Taurus, if you were born in May, or another one of the 12 familiar signs of the Western zodiac. But if you are Chinese, your answer would be completely different. In Chinese astrology, the 12 zodiac animals are called Shengxiao, which means animal sign. These animals, in their order of appearance, are the rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. Each animal sign reoccurs every 12 years. The year you were born matches one of these animals. It might also tell you something about your personality. So, if you were born in 2011, you were born in the year of the rabbit. And 2023 is also the year of the rabbit. But why would a year be named after a rabbit? Rabbits usually aren't seen as very powerful animals. But in Chinese culture, the rabbit is known as the luckiest of all the zodiac animals. It is a symbol of elegance, beauty, and mercy. Rabbits are also seen as being very intelligent. If you are born in the year of the rabbit, then according to the Chinese zodiac you are calm and peaceful, and you don't like to fight. You are artistic and smart, but don't like to be criticized. You also don't like change. The animals in Chinese astrology are about more than just personality traits. They are also symbols of a deep connection with ancient Chinese culture, mythology, and heritage. And other cultures around the world have their own connections to the rabbit. Unlike many other symbols, though, almost every culture thinks of rabbits as symbolizing luck, prosperity, abundance, and fertility. Most cultures see rabbits as symbols of springtime, renewal, and cleverness. Think of some of the things we do that relate to rabbits. Have you ever woken up on the first day of a new month and said, "Rabbit, rabbit," before speaking to anyone? Saying it is supposed to bring you good luck for 30 days. No one is sure where the superstition came from, but it was first mentioned in a British magazine in 1909. President Teddy Roosevelt used to say it every single month. Have you ever seen anyone carrying a rabbit's foot keychain? They are believed to be lucky charms that bring good fortune to those who had them. Ancient Celtic tribes believed that rabbits were very powerful and capable of shapeshifting. And because rabbits spent so much time underground, they could communicate with gods and spirits, carrying messages back and forth between the living and the dead. All of this made them lucky, and the rabbit's foot was the luckiest part of the animal. Fortunately, today most rabbit's foot keychains are artificial and don't come from real rabbits. Not every culture associates rabbits with good luck. However, Native American tribes consider rabbits to be tricksters. This trickster rabbit was called Jistu. It was sly, smart, and deceitful. In children's stories, a rabbit trickster is also funny, careless, and has a big ego. African folklore also had a trickster rabbit, whose stories were brought to America by enslaved peoples. Author Joel Chandler Harris recreated these stories with a popular character named Brer, or Brother, Rabbit, who seemed small and weak, but was always able to overcome larger, stronger animals that weren't as smart as he was. Some cultures have beliefs surrounding the color of a rabbit. A white rabbit symbolizes love, inner strength, and good fortune. A black rabbit is associated with stress, fear, and feelings of helplessness. The Aztec culture, however, didn't view rabbits as tricksters or symbols of luck. Rabbits were associated with an alcoholic drink called pulque, which was made from the fermented sap of the agave plant. They were linked to drunkenness and festivity. There are also different beliefs about white, black, and brown rabbits. A white rabbit represents love, inner strength, and sensitivity, as well as new opportunities and good fortune on the way. Dreaming about a white rabbit might mean that your life is about to change. A dream about a black rabbit, however, might mean stress, fear, and feeling helpless. A brown rabbit is associated with abundance, but also with being vulnerable. But if you dream about a brown rabbit, it means that you are fortunate and that you shouldn't take things too seriously. But whatever symbolism or beliefs there might be about rabbits, there are more than 3 million pet rabbits in the United States alone. Wild rabbits can also be a familiar sight on lawns, in fields, or in the woods. For the most part, rabbits mean good luck, so don't forget to say, rabbit, rabbit at the beginning of the next new month. It could mean 30 days of good luck. Mid-Autumn Festival is the second most important Chinese festival of the year, after Chinese New Year. As with many festivals, its traditions and rituals are tied to ancient legends. Legend has it that if you look closely enough at the moon during the festival, you can see the images of the jade rabbit and Shangye, goddess of the moon. This duo has come to represent the festival, which occurs when the full moon rises into the night sky at its roundest and brightest all year. The moon's round shape symbolizes togetherness and unity, and families gather to share a meal, celebrate the moon's glimmering beauty, and retell stories of long ago. The story of Shangye and Hou Yi. In the days of long ago, the earth had 9 suns. The suns blazed so brilliantly that they scorched everything on earth. Trees and plants withered, rivers dried up, and no crops could grow. The people began to starve. The Jade Emperor summoned the best archers in the land to shoot down the suns. A young archer named Hou Yi raised his bow to the sky, and one by one, shot down each of the suns until only one remained. For his success in saving the earth, the Jade Emperor awarded him the Pill of Immortality. Although he appreciated the Jade Emperor's reward, Hou Yi didn't want to take the pill and become immortal. It would mean he would have to leave his wife, Shangye, whom he loved very much, and live up in the heavens. So he asked Shangye to hide the pill. Hou Yi had an archery student named Peng Meng. Peng Meng found out about the Pill of Immortality and wanted it for himself. One day when Hou Yi was out hunting, Peng Meng went to Shangye and demanded the pill. She refused to give it to him, but knowing that she could not defeat him, swallowed the pill so he could not have it. Immediately, she became light as a feather and rose higher and higher into the sky until she reached the moon. Because she could not return to Earth, the Jade Emperor made her the moon goddess. When Hou Yi returned home and found out what had happened to Shangye, he was heartbroken. He gathered all her favorite fruits and laid them on an altar to worship her. People in the village heard about Shangye's fate, and they also began to worship the moon. This is how moon worship became a Chinese tradition. However, it is said that the Jade Emperor took pity upon this young couple. Once a year, on the 15th day of the 8th month in the Chinese lunar calendar, the day of Mid-Autumn Festival, he allows Hou Yi to cross the Milky Way to be with Shangye. 3 immortal beings descended from the heavens and transformed themselves into 3 old men. They met a fox, a monkey, and a rabbit, and begged them for food. The fox and the monkey had some food that they gave to the old men. The rabbit had nothing. Ashamed that he didn't have any food to give, the rabbit offered himself and said, "You can eat me." The immortals were very touched by his gesture. They made him immortal and sent him to live on the moon as the Jade Rabbit. He became Change's faithful companion and grinds her pill of immortality. The tradition of appreciating the moon dates back almost 2,000 years to the Tang dynasty, 618 to 907 CE, when families gazed at the exquisite orb glowing in the sky and took walks in the moonlight. It wasn't until sometime during the Northern Song dynasty, 960 to 1127 CE, that the 15th day of the 8th month in the Chinese or lunar calendar was declared Mid-Autumn Festival. In the Western calendar, this festival usually falls somewhere between September 8th and October 6th. It was believed that praying to the moon goddess on this day would bring a good harvest, so this festival is also called the Harvest Moon Festival. Worshipping the moon goddess with incense and round fruits such as grapes, apples, and pomelos, a grapefruit like citrus, also became a popular custom. Food has always played an important role in Chinese celebrations, whether it's a wedding, birthday, or other festival. Some foods hold special meanings, such as pumpkin, which is commonly thought to bring good health. Mid-Autumn Festival meals often include a pumpkin dish. Taro, similar to yam, is believed to banish bad luck and invite good luck and wealth. Moon cake, a pastry with a golden, flaky crust and a sweet, sticky filling is a particular Mid-Autumn Festival delight. Its round shape represents the moon and symbolizes completeness and togetherness. Traditionally, The filling is made with lotus seed or red bean paste, but you can find moon cake stuffed with other things from ice cream and chocolate to fruits and green tea. Occurring on the 15th day of the initial month of the Lunar New Year, when the first full moon appears, the Lantern Festival is a festive time that continues the good cheer and celebration sparked by Chinese New Year. It also simultaneously marks the end of that annual event. It's a time when lanterns and other colorful lights and decorations adorn stores, businesses, and streets in Chinese communities around the globe. Aside from honoring ancestors, the festival is also meant to foster peace, forgiveness, and harmony. Lantern displays are the center of attention during the Lantern Festival in Taiwan. Parks across the island are often decorated with many lanterns depicting everything from the Chinese zodiac animal of the year to traditional Chinese folk stories. In addition, there are other stimulating activities, including lion and dragon dances, fireworks displays, and various parades. School children make small lanterns at schools as well. There are also traditional foods associated with the Lantern Festival, such as tang yuan and dumplings. With tang yuan's round shape, the treats symbolize the completeness and unity of the family. It is believed that the origin of the Lantern Festival can be traced back to the Han Dynasty, 206 BCE to 220 CE, and is linked to a ritual that was performed by Buddhist monks which involved lighting lanterns to honor Buddha. There are also some colorful legends related to how the festival came about. One tells the story of the Jade Emperor becoming enraged at some townspeople who killed his beloved crane. His plan to burn the town to the ground was foiled by his daughter, who advised the people to light numerous lanterns in the town to trick the emperor into believing it had previously been set ablaze. Whatever the true roots of this joyous occasion, the Lantern Festival is enjoyed in cities such as Taipei, which will host the 2023 Taiwan Lantern Festival. According to local officials, the upcoming lantern show will focus on creativity and fashion. To teach young children appropriate behaviors, many authors soften their lessons by telling stories with animal characters. A rascally, naughty rabbit often gets the point across more effectively than something harsher. In early childhood, many readers learn through countless well-known books. In Thornton Burgess' Peter Cottontail, readers meet a charming and curious little rabbit who teaches the importance of friendship and other lessons. In Rabbit, friend of A. A. Milne's Winnie the Pooh, children meet a fellow with a big heart who will do almost anything for his friends. While often uptight, fussy, and a bit temperamental, he is also responsible, practical, and an intelligent leader. Also, charming, and friendly but perhaps less known, Uncle Wiggily's long ears demonstrates a knack for setting things right. This friendly elderly gentleman rabbit with a high hat and cane is clever, courteous, kind-hearted, cheerful, and proves to be a reassuring friend. Marjorie Williams the Velveteen Rabbit emphasizes the importance of love and companionship, and how love can transform. This worn, stuffed rabbit teaches about struggles with feelings of inferiority, bullying, feelings of worth, neglect, and ultimately hope as the toy magically becomes a happy, real rabbit who checks in on the child who loved him as he grows up. Readers love this story well into adulthood. Even the very young learn from more complex characters. In early childhood, many grow to love Beatrix Potter's feisty, mischievous Peter Rabbit, who struggles for independence, faces dangers, behaves disobediently at times, and demonstrates human shortcomings. The adventurous Brer Rabbit, the quintessential trickster, fools other characters while relying on cunning to get out of sticky situations. This well-meaning, curious, comical, and resourceful character is also boastful and sneaky, often pushing the boundaries of authority. Animals serving as central characters in works for older readers include Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Richard Adams' Watership Down. Carroll's White Rabbit is a frazzled, rushed, and occasionally rude character who becomes Alice's unintentional guide. Incredibly interesting to Alice, the wacky and manic March Hare who hosts the unbirthday party exemplifies being as mad as a March Hare. Some consider Carroll's work to represent a child's view of the adult world. Adams' Watership Down presents an entire rabbit society that represents the challenges humans face because of the threats of increasing modern technology. While demonstrating that intuition can protect and save the community, their leader realizes that the group is stronger when they work together. Willing to act swiftly and confidently, the respected Hazel does not act as a dictator who uses fear or force to lead, but proves unafraid to let others come up with ideas and keeps the entire group's needs and well-being in mind. So, if you want to help your friends learn about tolerance, hand them Watership Down or the Velveteen Rabbit. If you want to remind them of Rabbit helping Tigger, share Winnie the Pooh stories with them. Peter Rabbit or Brer Rabbit can help them learn about thinking before acting. The Velveteen Rabbit is useful for those coping with a changing world. For those struggling with issues of home and belonging, works such as Peter Cottontail and Watership Down can be useful. So, let's hear it for the rabbit characters who have taught us life lessons and addressed universal themes. It's always a good day to reread an old favorite or check out another book featuring rabbits. Fast facts: Beatrix Potter actually had a pet rabbit named Peter. Milne's character Christopher Robin was based on the author's own son, Christopher Robin Milne. The tale of Peter Rabbit first appeared in a letter Beatrix Potter wrote to a friend's son. Put away your rabbit's foot and don't you dare say, rabbit, rabbit on the first day of the month if you are visiting the Isle of Portland in the United Kingdom. The people of this island in the English Channel don't think rabbits are lucky at all. In fact, they consider them quite the opposite. The Isle of Portland is known for its limestone quarries. Back when workers mined the quarries by hand, they developed a deep dislike of rabbits. Some felt the appearance of a rabbit precluded a rock fall or landslide. Workers blamed the rabbits and their underground burrows. Seeing a rabbit became a bad omen, and if one was spotted, workers would leave work for the day. Islanders even avoided using the word rabbit. The creatures became known as underground mutton, long-eared furry things, or simply bunnies. Although quarries are now mined by machine, the tradition has endured. Out of respect for older generations, the alternate terms are still used. When the 2005 Wallace and Gromit movie The Curse of the Were-Rabbit was released, a special poster was created for promotion on the island. Instead of using the title, it had the tagline, "Something Bunny is Going On." The movie went on to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature Film, so it appears to have avoided the curse of the were and all rabbits. What do you picture when you think about Easter? Jelly beans, chocolate eggs, spring flowers, and baby chicks. Don't forget one of Easter's biggest symbols, the Easter Bunny. The Easter Bunny is not a Christian religious symbol of Easter, but it has been around for a very long time. The ancient pagan holiday called the Festival of Easter, which is older than Christianity, featured a rabbit as its symbol. Easter celebrated Ostara, the goddess of fertility and the arrival of spring. According to mythology, Ostara loved children, and she changed her pet bird into a rabbit to entertain them. The rabbit produced colored eggs that the goddess gave to the children. Because rabbits are known for how often they reproduce, they were a natural symbol for a holiday celebrating rebirth and fertility. Many baby bunnies are born in the spring. Hares, a relative of rabbits with longer ears and longer legs, were also believed to be sacred animals in ancient Britain and were often buried with humans because they symbolized rebirth. Because they had a religious meaning, people during those times did not eat hare until after Easter. Because it was also believed that witches often took the form of a hare, and winter witches did not want spring to come. There were also Easter traditions of hunting hare and eating pie made from the meat of hare. But how did the Easter bunny get from ancient Britain to the United States? In Germany, there was a tradition of an egg-laying hare named Osterhase or Osterhase. The legend was that the egg-laying hare would leave brightly colored eggs as presents for children who had been especially good. Children would create nests for the hare to lay its eggs in. They also left it carrots in case it got hungry, a little like an Easter version of leaving carrots for Santa's reindeer. When German immigrants came to Pennsylvania in the 1700s, they brought the Osterhase tradition with them. The tradition gradually spread across America. Nests were replaced with decorated Easter baskets, and children began receiving candy and toys, not just eggs. It might seem odd that a rabbit would lay eggs, but because both eggs and rabbits were symbols of fertility, and eggs also represented the rebirth of Jesus in the religious celebration of Easter, they were combined. Over time, the Easter bunny's appearance also changed from a regular brown or white rabbit to a tall, all-white rabbit that walks on its hind legs and wears bright human clothing. The Easter bunny often appears in Easter parades or at the mall where children can have photos taken with him. Although Germany brought the Easter bunny to America, not every country in the world celebrates Easter with a bunny. In Australia, where small burrowing blue-gray marsupials called bilbies are common, the Easter bilby brings Easter treats. You can even put a chocolate bilby in your basket. Switzerland has the Easter cuckoo, and in parts of Germany they have the Easter fox or the Easter rooster. In France, Easter treats don't even come from an animal. Children believe that flying church bells travel to the Vatican and bring back chocolate. Finally, let's not forget everyone's favorite kind of Easter rabbit, the chocolate bunnies that appear in Easter baskets all over the world. In America alone, more than 90 million chocolate bunnies are produced every year. That's a lot of chocolate. Whether you leave carrots out for the Osterhase, wait up for the Easter bilby, or wake up on Easter morning to a basket filled with eggs and candy from the Easter bunny, remember that they are all ways of celebrating spring and the rebirth of green grass, flowers, and the return of sunshine. Rabbit Island. Let's go island hopping to Okinoshima, also known as Bunny Island. This small island in the Sea of Japan is home to more than 1,000 wild rabbits. The exact origin of the rabbit population is not known. Some think the rabbits are descendants of rabbits used in chemical testing during World War II. Another theory is that the population originates from rabbits released by school children in 1971. As there are no natural rabbit predators on the island, the rabbit population increased quickly. In Japanese culture, rabbits are considered a symbol of luck. They appear in many traditional stories and their image can be found on items throughout the country. In Japan, there is no man in the moon idea when observing the nighttime sky. Instead, it is a rabbit that people see when looking at the moon. It is said to be making mochi, a rice cake, with a specialized tool. You can only access the island via ferry. 2 Leave from Tadanomi and Amishima. Visitors are encouraged to fill pans with water for the rabbits, but are asked not to pick up the rabbits or feed them human food. It wasn't always known as a home for furry creatures. Okinoshima was first inhabited during the Russo-Japanese War from 1904 to 1905. 10 forts, that are still standing, were built to house soldiers. The island is considered an inland sea national park resort and is filled with campsites and walking trails. As a result of the island's darker history during World War II, Okinoshima is also home of the Poison Gas Museum.